frame. Might have peed a little bit. This marketplace fine. Alright guys, so we're back on the Forester build. Don't mind these welds, but they're just fillet welds for grinding it smooth and making it look pretty. So they're just kind of there. But as you can see, we got the shock mounts on in the back. Got the lower ones there on this side as well. And I also got the B-rings welded on to the hitch plate. Still got to cut the hole. But got the track bar off, got the U-bolts unnutted, and we're getting ready to pull the axle out and get it flipped upside down, finish welding all the underneath, cap the frame here on the C-notches, add the last little bit of gusseting, what we got to do, finish weld everything, and then finish grind everything, and then get it ready for paint. And then the only thing we got to do is the back hitch plate. So that's what we're going to do. Get everything out, cleaned up, finish welded, painted. And once everything's out here in a second, I'll give you guys a better look of all the bag mounts and everything. That way it's not all jumbled mess, and there's a lot going on in this little vicinity right here. So. Come on! Oh! Alrighty then. What the shit? Grinding. Oh. Tight new bushings. Golly. See, my jack don't go high enough. So I got a nice safe apparatus that I built to get it high enough to roll the axle out. OSHA certified, as always. That's all I got. I hope that's enough. Jack's on the wall. Need it anyway. Let's get you over here. Oh, sorry about that. Now you can really see everything's dirty. Apologize. It's been alright, so here it be. Let me pull the garage door down a little bit because the sun's giving the camera the berries here. That's a little gooder. Alright. So as you can see, there's all of our bag mounts, track bar mount, lower shock mounts, decent welds, not too shabby. Like I said, I gotta finish welding the underside of this. Gotta weld these, double check everything's good on these, and it's easier for me to just give it an alley-oop here. Should be able to do it. Just like that. Just give it a little pinion. Hold on, let me put the camera down. There we go. Now you can see, looks the same, but it's upside down now. We're gonna get our lower shock mounts welded. This bracket is from some type of Jeep or some sort. It worked out pretty good, other than, yeah. We'll make it look pretty, trim that off, and you won't even know. I gotta trim the rest of this. I started cutting it there, you can see. Now that's upside down, unbolt the sway bar. Finish cutting that off. Get everything cleaned up. I'm gonna cut the corners off of these, just make it look a little nicer around them, whatnot. But do a little underside view of the frame here. Oh, well, that's nice. That'll really help my weld quality. Son of a bitch. I hate gear oil too. It smells like rotten ass. Spin it back over and drain it back out. Hold on. I got that cleaned up. Well, not the floor. And I was gonna go drain it, but I don't think that's gonna come out of there. Let's see what we got. Try to ooga-dooga. Try to jar it. I'm very impressed. I would have never expected that to come out. Somebody must be on my side today. Because any other day, if that would have rounded, we would have been welding a nut to it. And then the nut would have been ripping off. We would have welded it on 3 times. And then it would have stripped. And then we would have been replacing the whole cover. Yeah. But today's must be a good day. Alright, so I'm going to get this drained. And then we'll flip it over so I don't have leaky poo all over my floor again. And now I even got that mess cleaned up. Got it moved over here out of my way. Spin it now. Hopefully it doesn't leak fluid because there shouldn't be any fluid in it. So, gonna get it spun. And I'll get back to showing you the underside of the frame before I got interrupted with the old rear end. Keep going all over my floor. right about there for now. Get the sway bar unbolted. But first, let me get back to showing you the underside of the frame before we rudely got interrupted by the rear end. So, I gotta cap that steel, both sides. You can kind of see what we got going on under here. There's the underside of the bag mounts, the other track bar mounts. You can see where we're going to be cutting a hole for the gooseneck. Like I said, I just haven't decided what style ball I want to go with yet on how it mounts. So yeah, that's that. Get all these bagged and tagged and get them put on the shelf. Clean up these tacks that I had on here. And like I said, we're going to grind the frame, get it smoothed, and get it painted. At least up to like here. Because I still got a couple things to mount in here and whatnot. But I just want to get some of this section painted so we can get the bags in and get that working. So we don't have to have these stupid temporary braces in anymore. So yeah, get some grinding going here, and we're gonna get on this. Alright guys, we're getting everything metal finished up. Got a little bit to do on this side still. Finishing everything with a DA and 80 grit. Making it nice and smooth. Got this side all rough ground. Getting ready to DA it. We're going to go ahead and get all these caps welded in. That way we can finish grind everything at once and then DA everything at once. I got a couple gusset plates to add on the inside here. Where's it? Just to give it some added strength on that weld seam. And then we got the axle. Got those tabs cleaned up and rounded like I said before. Just to make it look a little bit nicer. Gonna get that welded. I made a bottom plate for it to tie it into the axle. Gonna get those finish welded. My dad stopped and wire wheeled this yesterday while he was up here dropping stuff off. You can see this side's looks a lot nicer than just a square cut. Yeah, so we're gonna jump on the welder here and get to melting some steel. All right, we got everything finished welded on the axle. All wire wheeled. We're probably gonna put a new diff cover on it at some point, but for right now, it's just gonna get painted. That way I can get all the bags and everything mounted up, because once we're done with that, we're painting that. Then we can have the bags in and the rear suspension will work, and then we'll have to have temporary bars welded to it. But yeah, so there it is. Got the track bar all welded up. Gusset on the bottom, shocks mounts welded. Got these all the edges ground smooth. Little cut burrs. So yeah, I'm gonna toss some paint on this. And then while that paint's drying on there, I'm gonna start welding all the plates and everything on here. I'll be back. Alright guys, we're back. Got it all metal finished with 80 grit. It's a lot of screwing around. Looks good though. Makes for a nice finished product. Got all that capped. Capped on that side. That side. Added a couple goosets on the inside just for extra strength. Got all my 1/4-inch bolts welded on the frame for my P-clips to run on my lines and electrical and brake lines, and a little metal finishing on there. She's ready for paint. I'm gonna toss some primer to it first. Then we're gonna toss some black to it. But yeah, that's it. Let me know what you guys think. First full frame build's coming along pretty good. Got the axle all painted black. It looks nice. Added some studs on that. They're long now, they'll be trimmed, but that's for the brake line. Because we can't use any of the factory mounting. That we ground some of them off, but the bags are now in the way, so the brake line's gotta out around and down around. So yeah. So let's get some paint on this. See how she looks. She's in primer. God, does that metal finish make it look good. It's all uniform, smoothed. I ran out of gray primer, so I had red epoxy primer, so I used that. That's why it's gray and red. Does the same thing. It's weird to see it all in one color. Well, not raw metal, I should say. Let that dry. Got all the brackets tore off. Gonna wipe those down and get those primered and painted. That's already painted. And hopefully by first thing tomorrow morning, we're putting her all back together for the last time in the back here. You know? We'll see. Looking pretty. I didn't paint that tranny cross member because I'm not sure if it's going to work with that other tranny yet. So it's for a dirge tranny. We're using a furred tranny. So won't know until we get the adapter plate. But yeah. So there's the frame. Gonna get it all put back together tomorrow. Get the bags in it. Get temporary airlines plumbed up. We're gonna be going. After that, be mocking up the cab. She's coming right around. All right, peeps, it's the next day. Paint's all cured and dried. We went ahead and went with, just to contrast it a little bit, on the suspension parts with a textured finish, just to, I don't know, mainly help it from stone chips from the tires, but also just to give it a contrast from the frame. Granted, the frame's gonna get stone chipped up too, but I mean, we're gonna drive it, so you'll have that. But anyway, we're gonna be putting it back together today for the final time. We got our hardware table out here. We got all our bolts, nuts, washers, bags, brackets, U-bolts, whatnot, tools, shocks. The shocks we're going to be putting on today are only temporary, just so you guys can get an idea what that's going to look like. When we bought the dump truck, it came with a bunch of new parts. Shocks were one of them. They were the factory Dodge shocks, but they ended up being a little too long. They'll work, but I don't know until we get the bags in if we're going to get enough travel out of them to drop the suspension down like we want. So we might have to go with shorter shocks. We won't know until we get assembled here. I'm going to take you guys along. We're going to get everything put back together. We're going to start with getting the axle slid underneath. Well, we're going to bolt our those suspension arm brackets and get those on first, and then we'll roll the axle under, put the bushings back in the arms, put the arms on, and etc, etc, etc. So yeah, here's what it looks like all dried and cured. I think it came out pretty nice. I had these marked. This is sticky. This is the driver's side. Put our washers on them. Starting to think this truck's going to be turning out to more be a Rusto mod than a rat rod. She's got a lot of fancies on her. My dad hasn't completely transitioned over to living the rat rod life yet, so he still likes a lot of fancy shiny things. But you'll have that on these big jobs. It'll still be pretty damn cool. Try not to nick the paint up. So try not to get my ass cracked in the camera. Sure everybody would appreciate that. The game plan today is I'm going to get all this up back together. And my dad's supposed to be coming up, and by the time he gets up here I should have everything back together, and then we're really going to try to get the cab just dry set on here, a couple tubies, something of that nature, just to kind of get an idea what it's going to look like. But we leave for Rod Run tomorrow at like 6 a.m. and I have nothing loaded yet. Chevelle's still sitting there, not on the trailer. I don't even have clothes packed. So we'll see where we get today. But I'm hoping to have that in this video. Even if we get the cab off and sitting beside it, I mean, that's progress still. So we'll see what happens with that. Alright, so we got those on. Let's get the axle slid under. I gotta jack it up with my OSHA jack. Put a little rag under there so it don't scratch it with that giant gear prop. Table in the way. There we go. That's all she wrote. Don't tell me it's not gonna fit now. Oh yeah. Speed sensor, if you remember, got us last time. Roll slid it. There we go. Track our bracket was hitting. Looks about right. Oh, damn. Forgot to mark these. Let's see here. I think this is going to be this one because our pins are offset. Yeah, yep, that's right. You right. Yeah.
Oh, idiot.
I tried to market everything on the cardboard that I was painting on because I can't mark this because you're going to paint over it. But I did that and then moved them. And you really don't know where they are anymore. Get the bushings back in. Get an idea of where we're at side to side. Actually, I can put the track bar in now, and yeah, put the track bar in now. That way we can get our perfect side to side, and then we'll tighten everything down on the axle. That's what we're gonna do. That's what I was figuring. dropping nuts. Get our misalignment spacers out of here. Yep, scratch the paint. Alright. An inch. Alright, so let's see, what are we going to measure from, what are we going to measure from, what are we going to measure from? I guess we measure from right here on the arm. As long as it's same on both sides. We got 2 5/8. We got. It's not that bad. You got a pretty good eye. Get a little tweaky poo. Tight. God damn. You gotta be kidding me. The salt range is not big enough. Tighten the jam nuts down too early. Did it move at all? No. One way. So 2 9/16. 2 9/16. Bam!
Bam!
Let's get U-bolts on. I don't know about you guys, but I absolutely hate putting U-bolts on. Tight tolerances with the paint. Got a little weld burr. Ain't going nowhere.
Break Joe! You're going nowhere!
Alright. Looks nice with all fancy hardware. Tell you what. 1 1/4 tear. Huh? No, 5/16. Idiot.
Idiot!
Alright. Let's get another wrench and tighten those up better. Get a bigger press wrench. That wrench don't give you much leverage. Alright. Bags. Those bags. These are a pain in the arse to get in here. And they might not be too bad now that it's lifted up. Oh yeah. Simple. We got her in the air. I forgot about that. Bam!
Bam!
We're on creep mode. Keep moving. That's how you do that. Elbow pop. Oh no. I got the wrench stuck in there.
Idiot.
Show you what I did. Rookie mistake. Look at that. I used the box end and then tighten it down there where I said it's close to the frame. Gonna get in there with the gazal now. Cut that stud off a little bit. Alright, so we got our trusty cut through anyway, so get that stud cut off. And my idiot mistake. It's gonna be fun with a wrench in your way. Ooh, that's hot. Touched my elbow. You get these top bolts tightened, and then we're gonna put some temporary lines on. Get this baby functioning. All right. Here you go. We got everything. God, I keep getting my hand in the camera. I don't know what to do with my hands. Yeah, we got it all together. Look good. Got a couple things to tighten up still, but I put the shocks in. Like I said, I don't know if they're gonna work. We'll find out here shortly. Still got to tighten the track bar bolts. But we got our temporary plumbing in. I mean, it looks good all together. Brand new fresh hardware. I don't know what you guys think. I'll get you on the stand here. Get the air hose out. And see how she functions with the air. She gets pretty high. That's aired out. That's it. I think the shocks are bottomed out, but we might be able to use these shocks. Really can't go much lower than that. Yeah, we can. We can go way lower. No, the bags are kind of scrunchy. So yeah, I probably ain't gonna go much lower than that. And I'll be pulling up to the show, hit the dump valve, drop her down. Yep. Yep. Function's nice. Not bad. So next step, now that we got this all together, she's functioning, works good. I'm excited. I'm sure my dad's gonna be when he gets here. Should be here soon. I don't know where he's at. But yeah. I'm excited. First full custom frame air ride, custom suspension, all in one, and it works pretty good. So I'll wait for my dad now. Next step is gonna take the cab off the other truck. It's sitting, it looks like it's just a cab sitting out on the ground. I'll show you. But if you can see, there's actually a frame still under it. They just torched it off the back of the cab. So we had to cut the bolts out of that. Then we're gonna get that off. Probably take the hood off. That way we can get in there, because we're gonna have to cut the firewall out to fit the motor in. We're gonna have to build a dog box. So yeah, just got a little bit of work to do there. Hopefully we can get it set on today and still get the old Chevelle and everything loaded up for rod run tomorrow. Crunch time. All right, so we got this pushed back to the side, and I grabbed the old skiddy here, get that cab lifted up. We're gonna get it in here, and I'm gonna set the frame up on jack stands, set it down. That way I can work like a sophisticated gentleman instead of laying out there in the gravel like an idiot.
Ugh. Idiot.
Alright guys, so what I'm doing right here while we're waiting for my dad so I can get these jack stands set under here. My buddy had an adapter plate actually for us to borrow just to do mock-up. It'll make it a little bit easier for us so we exactly know how much we need to cut out for when we set the cab down on. If you never messed with one of these Cummins, they're kind of like a big truck motor. They have an adapter, just a plate that bolts to the back of the engine, and they're very adaptable to pretty much any transmission you want. I could put a big truck transmission behind here or whatever, and it's all in just this rear plate replacing it. Well, they make this rear plate to put Ford ZF5. They make them for Ford ZF5 diesel, Ford ZF5 gas job from like a 460, Ford ZF6 from a 7.3 and a 6.0 and 6.4. You can put a turbo 400 behind them. GM Allisons. I mean, pretty much any tranny you want. You just get yourself a nifty difty little adapter kit and bang, any tranny you want. We got the transmission bolted on. I have to make a couple provisions to the tranny cross member. I'm gonna cut the back of it out right there, and then we'll just continue this same radius and just bring it back farther so we have area to bolt that in so it won't be too bad. But yeah, we're getting ready to tear the hood off now, so that way that's out of our way. And then we're gonna get it up on jack stands and get the chunk of frame. There's actually a transmission in it too. And get everything stripped off the firewall and start making cuts to that. Get the seat out, whatnot. All right, hood's off. My dad's in here cleaning the cab out. He's gonna get the seat out. I'm gonna work on getting all this stuff stripped off the firewall. Get these couple bolts for the body cut off. Get the steering column cut. We'll put you on a time lapse here. All right, guys, we're getting ready to put it up on stands so we can get underneath, get the seat bolts and the body bolts out. If you look at it,
Front's a little higher.
yeah, but that's about going to be ride height for it. If you look, kind of get an idea. It's about how high it's going to sit.
I mean,
All right, we got it up on stands. Now we can get underneath of the creeper, make it a lot easier. Now you can really see how there's still that frame underneath. Thing's spotless. Put you back on time lapse. We're going to get the bolts out and lift the cab up off. Alright guys, we've got the cab rigged up. Getting ready to lift it off the frame. We moved it outside so the frame was out of our way. We're gonna bring it, set it right here on the floor, get the firewall cut out, and then we're gonna get it set on the truck. And then we'll have to probably trim the inner fenders as we're setting it down on. But see how she goes. Alright, it's a change of plans. The fenders are only held on by one bolt, so we're just gonna unbolt the fenders real quick, set the cab on separately, and then carry the fenders in by hand. Make it a little easier. Firewall cut. I guess the back's sitting a little high because the transfer case is resting up against the floor still. So we gotta do a little trimming there. But the front is about where it's gonna sit height-wise, because you can see how the back's up if you line your eyes up with the frame. But that's where it's going to sit at the front height-wise, because the running boards will come down and cover up the frame rail perfectly. But she's going to be a big girl. I mean, I'm like 6'1", 6'2". You can kind of see how the height of it's going to be. Granted, on these, so it's about 3 inches higher off the ground than it normally is, but it's gonna look good. So we went ahead, cut more of the floor out, and we got it set it down nice and level. Now we got the running boards cut off the fenders, getting ready to set the front clip on, see how it looks. Alright guys, so we got the front clip fit on. I don't know how much more of this video I'm going to get. My phone's about to die. But we're probably going to end up having to move the engine back, which I figured that was probably going to be an issue once we got everything on, but that's what you have when you're building everything custom. But it looks good. Had to do some trimmage on the inner fenders. There. Kind of just got it mocked up. We're getting ready to throw the hood on. That way you can get the full effect of what it's going to look like. The front clip is really high in the front. So once the front clip comes down, the wheel well will probably be about perfect. So that's why it kind of looks a little goofy right now. Let's get the hood on. There it is. Hood's on. It looks complete. Other than the running boards. But yeah, we got a lot accomplished in this video. Went from bare raw steel frame to back all done, painted, and body on. Now we just got to build mounts, get everything situated, and like I said, we're going to have to move the engine and the tranny back. Sadly, I didn't want to have to do all that, but it is what it is. That's going to be the end of this video. I got to get ready for Rod Run tomorrow morning now. We leave at 6 a.m. It's about 5 in the evening now. So hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said, we got a lot accomplished. Once we get back from Rod Run, we're going to jump on this. And like I said, we're going to get cab mounts built because the cab is setting about where it needs to go. We got to raise it up just a tiddlywink. But we'll get the cab mounts built when we get back. And start getting the motor back, pick the motor up out, cut the mounts, get it moved back, I think in 4 to 6 inches roughly, so we have room for a radiator and a charge air cooler. But thanks again for watching. Hope you liked this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Well, see you later.